It's time to face the consequences.
There's not a lot of VR games out there that have great gameplay, great story, creativity, are fun, and leave you guessing what's going to happen next throughout the whole thing. Vertigo 2? Definitely that.
Well, Brian to the rescue again, I suppose. This better be the last time.
So Vertigo 2, there's not a lot of games out there like it, especially in VR. It's a single-player, first-person shooter, story-driven, that has a lot of creativity to it. And the craziest part is all developed by one guy named Zach Brown. And he's a younger kid, used to work at Valve, but other than the fact that he's a prodigy, let's get into it. It starts off, you're basically getting released from captivity, and this little robot guy is showing you around, and you get a gun within the first 5 minutes, and the game takes off from there.
Plasma condenser.
Vertigo 2 knows how to not waste time and make you enjoy the game. It doesn't make things overly complicated. It gives you a gun and says, here, aliens are coming, shoot them.
Be ready to fend off any visitors.
Roger.
So just like most games, it starts you off with some simple enemies, but these definitely show off the creativity of the game, and the enemies only get more creative as you go.
Okay, bud. Your only choice is to fight your way through.
After fighting your way through a few rooms of different types of enemies, you come across your first upgrade station. This is another great thing about the game, is the fact that it has weapon upgrades, and different ones too. As you can see, there's extended mags, a holographic sight, or a suppressor. And then once you unlock one of those, it extends the tree down, so it unlocks different options for you to upgrade. And each gun has its own different upgrades and special things about it, and it's just very unique. Now, right after you come around that corner and kill that little cube dude, make sure you go into this room, because this is where you're going to get the shotgun. And it's not even that far into the game, but you get the shotgun, which is extremely creative in my opinion. I love the way it looks. And keep an eye out in the room next to it, we got the portal gun. Nice little shout out. Now, as much as I love this game, there are a few things that it is lacking in, and that one thing specifically is reprojection. It gets fairly bad in certain sections of the game, and a lot of people just won't be able to take that. Something else that didn't bother me, but it'll definitely bother some people, as you can see, the game doesn't have sprinting. It uses a teleport. While it does have full locomotion, that's more or less your sprint dash ahead. Even though the game does have a jump button too, but it's a very Half-Life Alyx thing. I don't mind it at all. It would be nice if you could just sprint, but it's a different kind of game mechanic, and it still works very well. Vertigo 2 has some really cool action sequences in it, like this one. You're flying away from the mission and you're getting chased while having to use a machine gun to destroy these aircrafts that are following after you. And this is also one of the things where the game, it's a great scene to play, it's a lot of fun, but it is kind of hard because your character doesn't stay where it should on the ship when the ship moves. So you kind of find yourself moving around a little bit. And while that does make it a little hard, it's not impossible to play by any means. And overall, this part of the game is really fun and really cool, especially if you are not used to any kind of game like this. If you're not used to VR, this might be a little much for you, but I tell you what, this is really cool when you're in there playing it, doing it. The game also has some really cool VRAF mechanics, like this one. You have to get the lift operating again, but there's these shipping containers on top of it. It doesn't tell you what to do, but you just have to realize, oh, you can pick it up with the crane, move them off of it, and then it'll make the platform active again. Controlling the crane is not that clunky. It seems like it, but it's really just the way you handle it. But overall, I thought it was a really fun and cool mechanic to throw in there. The amount of different environments that are in Vertigo 2 are just amazing. You go from mountaintops to oceans to robot facilities with molten lava, space, all sorts of different things. It really is just an amazing experience, and it's hard to believe that it was brought by one guy. One of my favorite things about Vertigo 2 is this, the boss fights. I really was very pleasantly surprised with these. My first time playing through this on PC, I was a little confused. It was a lot harder for me, but going into the PlayStation version, I knew what to do, and it was still a lot of fun even though I beat them on my first try.
That thing is not dead. You just piss it off. Excellent. That should keep it quiet for the time being.
Then you also have these little mini bosses, which are pretty straightforward. You just have to break their shield and then destroy the head.
You defeated my saplings, but to prove yourself worthy of them, you'll need to go through me. I am Saplord, guardian of the fruit.
There's not a lot of games in VR that have boss fights the way that Vertigo 2 does it. There's not the mechanics that this game uses in it. That's one thing that's so much fun about this, and if you are actually a VR gamer and you haven't played Vertigo 2, I can't recommend this game enough. I feel it's completely worth the price that they're asking for. It's only a $30 game, and you can catch it on sale for probably $20, but it's a game that I feel everyone needs to play. Get it for your library. Support a solo dev, because he did an amazing job at this game, and who knows, maybe he'll be able to port Vertigo Remastered to PSVR2 someday, or even make a Vertigo 3. Now, unfortunately, for this part of the game on PSVR2, this is the worst performing level in the entire game, which is really sad because it's one of the coolest levels in the game, in the sense of you get to pick what side to play on. Like, you come up on this bridge, there's these two robots, they're arguing over the war that's going on. And even though it doesn't tell you to shoot either one, you kind of just shoot which side you feel like it. And then you join the other side and you help them fight their way to victory. And then at the end you get a special weapon. And granted, I haven't gone through and done both sides yet. I do plan on doing that just because I enjoy the game so much. But the thing is, with this level, this is where you experience the worst frame drops, and the reprojection is really noticeable, and it's just really sad because overall, this level is really cool, and it would be really nice if they could go back and patch it and make it run at 90 hertz native, because it suffers a lot from that. It's really difficult, and I know some people just can't get through this because they are really susceptible to reprojection, and some people aren't. But those people that are, it's not like that's a small group of people. Like, those are the people that are also gonna be loud about it and say the game's bad because of those reasons, and there's no reason that they couldn't go in and fix this, and it's something that needs to happen. So even with all the negatives, which really aren't that much, there's a few bugs, and the reprojection is really bad on really mainly one level. and it's not the greatest in the rest of the game, but it's still very playable, and I really enjoyed my time with it on the PSVR2 version. But if you're on PC and you can pick this up on Steam, the frame rate reprojection is not there. This game plays so well, so I can't recommend it enough. I don't know if this game has a big reputation. I don't really think it does, but I think more people should know about it. That's the only reason I'm making a video, because I like it and I want other people to know about it. I want them to play it. I want to see it get supported. And basically, yeah, that's it. So go check out Vertigo 2, and if you made it to the end of this video, you're still watching, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.